please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA, gateway to the 7 theme lands of the Magic Kingdom.
Welcome aboard the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. This is Justin Monorail, and this is episode number 188 of the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. Today is February 12th, 2024, and I've got a whole bunch of theme park news and tidbits to share with you. But before we get into all that, I've got to welcome in my Monorail co-pilots. First of all, let's welcome in the representative from North Carolina. It is Stephers. Stephers, how you doing today?
Hello, I have missed you, and I'm so sorry that I have been absent, but I traveled the world.
You did.
And by the world, I mean the country.
Yeah.
And that was far.
You went cross country. That was impressive.
I really did, and all I got was this awesome t-shirt. Just kidding. I got a cool sticker of Pedro Pascal that says, "Daddy is a state of mind."
I love it. So just speaking about Pedro Pascal for just a second.
Daddy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is. He's a daddy. And, of course, we know him as our beloved Mandalorian. You know, how do you feel about the fact that now in the later seasons of The Mandalorian, and probably for the Mandalorian movie, like most of the time, as long as he's got a helmet on, it's not actually going to be Pedro Pascal on the screen. Does that make you sad?
I mean, if I can hear him, like, I'm okay with it. But maybe that's a hot take.
No, I think it's fine.
Like, also, he's been doing a lot. So I need Daddy to be, like, you know, well rested for The Last of Us. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah.
Because there is no suit in The Last of Us. He just
it's all him all the time.
He's just in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one person that we can always depend on being here in person, whether he's wearing a mask or not, is the man, Landon the Doane. Landon, show us that beautiful punim. Where's your face?
It's right here. Hi, everybody. It's me. It's the DOZ, Landon the Doane, coming to you from the Isolation Station of Love. And guess what, everybody? Vacation mode is a go-go. I am officially on vacation, and this week I am going to be in the happiest place on earth. Wait, no, not California. Yeah, that's right. I'm going down to the House of the Mouse in Orlando, Florida, and I am going to have me a damn good time.
Yeah. Maybe not the happiest, but definitely the most magical. And we're excited that you're going to be upgrading Orlando back to Orlando's once again.
There it is. Man, that's 2 weeks in a row that my brain just breaks behind the microphone.
Not as bad as last week.
God, wow, that was phenomenal. I'm glad that I didn't die. That was great. But
I'm so glad. That would have been embarrassing to the smoking hot girlfriend having to go to Disney by herself.
she would have had to just go. She's like, well, the trip's already on the books. I gotta go.
Yep, we have to go. We already bought tickets to go see Hamilton in Atlanta, so I'm gonna go do that, and then I'm gonna go on to Orlando, and we already booked Big Fire, so
exactly.
I'm gonna go do that as well. So you know.
Okay, can I just say how happy I am that a recommendation I made has become your tradition?
It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, you did that, Stephers. So that's your fault.
I'll take full responsibility, and I am not sorry.
So I just want to say I haven't had a full meal at Big Fire, but I'm
tired of you. You're a local.
I have gone into the Big Fire bar multiple times. And in fact, last night, following Mardi Gras, a wonderful celebration at Universal Studios Orlando, we wrapped it up with a little post-party cocktail at the Big Fire bar. And we got the artichoke dip, and it was great. It was really good.
What cocktail did you get at Big Fire?
Well, as you know, my tradition, ladies and gentlemen, if you followed the Monday Morning Monorail long enough, you know that if Justin goes out and has enough drinks, I will at some point order a pink drink in the evening. And last night was no different. So of course, Casey has to upstage me by ordering from the old-fashioned menu. They have some really good old fashions. There's a PB&J. There's a smoked one. There's a classic.
Smoked old fashioned. Hell yeah. That thing's like a show.
Yeah, the smoked old fashioned's great. I've had that one before. But last night, I don't know why it was calling to me, but I ordered the Big Fire 75. And I don't know why it didn't cross my mind that, of course, this is a little dainty of a drink to be ordering. It comes out the brightest shade of pink you've ever seen in the daintiest little champagne flute. And Casey's got her nice big cocktail ice glass with her old fashioned in it. Usually when this happens, they deliver the drinks to the wrong person. And Casey gets the pink drink and I'll get no, last night that Big Fire 75 went right to me. I just embraced it. It's a thing now. It's what happens. And by the way, it was delicious. It was really good.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did.
I love that for you.
Yeah, it was great. But at some point, I said it last night again. We've got to go back and actually have a full meal there. So I'm happy for you, Landon. I know you're doing that for Valentine's Day, and I'm happy you're alive. So
yeah, I'm happy for both. As a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So. More on Mardi Gras and my Universal experience in just a bit. But I say, why don't we kick off today's show by talking a little bit of Walt Disney World news?
World.
Yep, that's right. We're doing it once again. We are scouring the internet and bringing you the headlines that you are dying to hear from the Central Florida theme parks. And of course, we start with Walt Disney World because that is our roots. Last week, ladies and gentlemen, Disney had their corporate earnings call and they shared very big news, lots of big news. The main thing is that things are going well and they're making money. Surprise to no one. But even following the call, Disney shares gained 12% on some of the announcements that they shared. In part, the Taylor Swift Eras Tour is coming to Disney Plus. That was one I didn't see coming.
Is there nothing she can't do?
Honestly, though, this headline came out and I said, the way she sold her rights to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I'm kind of shocked. In my head, I was like, maybe she'll give it to HBO. You know?
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, so first of all, I think that Taylor Swift has been in the business now. I think that she's pretty savvy, and I think she learned a lot of lessons over the years. I would be shocked if this isn't a very limited license for Disney Plus. Mm-hmm. And I would say that more than likely it's not going to be on there very long. And Disney did it to just boost their streaming subscriptions because they've got to find a way to make it profitable. And that's been one of Bob Iger's focuses since he's been back as CEO of the Walt Disney Company. So plus she's getting a pretty penny for that license. I mean, that too. And also, she's making it, going back to like you saying, she's a really savvy business person now. She's adding stuff to the release, like songs that weren't in the theatrical version or the one you could rent on demand or whatever it was. So, I mean, Disney is getting, if you can't tell, I'm a Swiftie. Disney is getting like a really good deal because it's like 5 additional songs. Well,
plus the concert that's already 3.5 hours.
I mean, they are paying for it. I can't remember the number exactly, so you all correct me, but I think it was $60 million. Is that right? That they're paying $60 million for the rights to show the Eras Tour on Disney Plus. It's something in that neighborhood.
Something.
That's all right. I mean, no one's losing out on this deal, I don't think. And just like go ahead.
I'm just glad that Taylor Swift can help this struggling fledgling company we know as Disney.
I know. Mm-hmm. It's really smart. I mean, you know, when Disney brought Hamilton to Disney Plus, that was like a big boost in subscriptions and it paid off for them. And I think this is going to be just like that. So, you know,
1,000%.
Yeah. It's going to work out.
I will be interested to see if they will release Disney Plus subscribers numbers once the Taylor Swift Eras Tour drops, like they did when you mention Hamilton, because I think this is going to be a massive boom when it comes to subscribers, because we've been seeing that Disney Plus has been losing subscribers. Like I've been a day one subscriber, and as long as I have the funds to stay subscribed to Disney Plus, I intend to stay subscribed to Disney Plus, but I understand that not everybody is in my position. But adding something like this, I think they are going to see a massive influx in subscribers or people who have let their subscription lapse come back. For sure.
Yeah, it's a good move. It's definitely good. I mean, she's the hottest name in like pop culture right now. So it's you gotta strike while the iron is hot. I thought that this piece was pretty interesting because I don't know that anybody saw this coming unless you were an insider, but the fact that I've got a couple tried and true gamers here on the show, I wanted to get your thoughts on this announcement. Disney announced it's investing $1.5 billion in Epic Games to launch a groundbreaking new games and entertainment universe that brings together Disney's beloved brands and franchises with the hugely popular Fortnite. So as I read through this, it seems to me that not only will this allow greater partnership between Disney and Fortnite, bringing their characters and stories, from across all their universes into the game, but also it opens this door with one of the hottest game developers right now for Disney to try to get back into the video game market. I know that you can look at some of the Star Wars games that have come out over the last couple of years that have been pretty successful, and I know that there have been some spot hits, but traditionally, over the course of time, Disney games have been duds. They just don't do well, and they're not great. So, really, really interesting here. And the tease of like opening up this Disney gaming universe has really got my mind stirring a little bit. Like, what could we possibly be about to see happen here? I don't know. I mean, Stephers, what are your thoughts? You're our streamer. You're the one that's out there, playing the games, the first person shooters, and you're on the front lines. So, what do you think about this?
I play Fortnite. Indeed, I do. Yeah. I do play Fortnite. So Fortnite has changed a lot recently. They added like new modes where like they even have like a Guitar Hero-esque kind of mode. They also have like a Minecraft building mode. I think what they're doing, I think they should have kept Fortnite the way it was and stop adding all this stuff, like do not separate games, but like separate launch. I don't know. I don't agree with them adding all this stuff to the one game. But Epic Games has updated their engine that they use. So I think that in terms of Disney utilizing it, I think that they can come up with some really well-made stuff. Now, the question is how much of it is going to be pay to play or like pay to win? That's where my hesitation is. Because Fortnite already has like the Star Wars skins, the Marvel skins. So like all of that's already implemented mostly in Fortnite already. So I'm hesitant to see like how much money they're going to try to squeeze out of people with this new situation.
Yeah, definitely. Landon, what do you think?
Fortnite has never really done it for me when it comes to gaming. I've tried it a couple of times, just wasn't really my jams, using a technical term, but I can't deny the fact that it is one of the most popular games at the moment, or honestly, most popular games of all time. But when I hear Epic Games, my mind goes back to, I guess, the mid-2000s when they were running and gunning literally and figuratively with the Gears of War series.
Yeah.
And that's what my mind goes to when I think of Epic Games. But, I mean, even just their, I guess, software, their engines and stuff like that. If Disney is investing $1.5 billion into that and they're buying that much into Epic, I'm curious to see, A, what comes out of this, and B, how Disney is going to use that going forward. And obviously, yeah, we're going to see Disney tie-ins into Fortnite. So get ready to, see Elsa, sniping you from halfway across the map and then doing weird Fortnite dances on top of your corpse and stuff like that.
She'll do the Dougie
be
on
fun
top
to
of
see.
it. Yeah, that's right.
But I'm more interested in seeing what Disney is going to use Epic's software in the future for.
Yeah.
And maybe not necessarily in Fortnite, how they're going to use that software in maybe we'll see it in movies. If I'm remembering correctly, don't they use some of the Epic software to shoot Mandalorian? Am I making?
I think you're right. I think I remember that. Yeah. And now we're on a podcast, so we're saying it, so it must be true. But I'm almost
exactly.
but I'm almost positive that you're right. I feel like is it like well, maybe now I'm thinking about Smuggler's Run, because did they not use the Unreal Engine to develop Smuggler's Run? I think that's
probable.
I think that's true.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got applications in potentially TV shows, movies, but also in the parks and development of experiences, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, I remembered something. Guys, I am on fire. From bongos to the Unreal Engine. I'm feeling it.
I'm proud of you. Oh, but what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That Magic Kingdoms game where you could like build your own park and like assign the different characters and unlock the different characters. It's actually a fun game. Like it's like a little mobile app. I don't know if they ever, but they could like make it larger scale and you can like it's giving Planet Coaster. It's giving, but like. No.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy. As big of a company as Disney is, it's kind of crazy that gaming has always kind of been a blind spot for Disney. And when they do kind of try and dip their toes into the water of video gaming, like you said, Jay, with the exception of a few games, it's really kind of always gone sideways for Disney.
Yeah.
So maybe if they do have Epic to kind of guide them into the world of video games, we will start to see Disney have a better success rate when it comes to video gaming.
It could be, and that's what I'm hoping. So according to this WashingtonPost.com article, again, we are getting highfalutin with our credits here. The two companies announced a partnership that would expand the licensing of Disney brands within Fortnite and create a transformational new games and entertainment universe, according to a news release. Disney said the new universe will allow people to play, watch, shop, and engage with content, characters, and stories from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, Avatar, and more. So that sounds exciting to me. Here's something that came to mind just now while we're talking about this. Isn't it quite interesting that Disney made this Thank you. That Disney made this announcement, and there is this whole pavilion over there in Epcot that we heard about when they announced the transformation of Epcot's World Celebration area and World Nature. And what do they call the section with space, with Mission Space? I can't think of what they call that section. World Future, World Space, World Technology. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I don't know.
One of those things.
But they, over there, suspiciously, they've been very, very quiet about the Play Pavilion. But if you can remember, back when they announced the changes to the Play Pavilion and what we were going to experience whenever they reimagined it and opened it back up, it felt like an immersive, almost like stepping into a video game environment. So it sort of makes me wonder a little bit if some of this will end up leading to finally the development of that Play Pavilion and what kind of experiences we could have there. Yeah.
Discovery.
World Discovery. Thank you, Stephers.
You're welcome. Hear me out. What if what a wacky idea this would be. But what if they partnered with Apple and that new Vision Pro thing, and it's just a glorified Disney Quest? No,
could
Anyone?
Be.
I'm just saying. Interact or whatever you just said from this Washington Post article that has been quoted. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
it could happen. It's not a stretch, guys. We're moving into AI and VR, and it's more updated. It could be a thing.
Well, I think,
and I'm saying it here first.
I don't think you're far off. I think all of this is worth keeping an eye on, because basically Iger said the strategic idea here is they're recognizing that in order to get visibility with Gen Alpha and Gen Z, you've got to get on the screens. You've got to get in their hands. You've got to be on the consoles and on the smartphones and on the computers. And that's where you're going to be able to engage with this current generation and the ones that are coming up and going to have money and going to be able to come to the parks and all that. So I don't know. I think there's always a reason behind this stuff that goes even further than just what you see on the surface. So I think it could really impact some stuff we see in the parks, and I hope that it does. So we'll keep an eye closely on that. Now, there were a couple other announcements as part of the investors call, the earnings call. One of them, I thought this was kind of interesting, is Disney's ESPN is teaming up with Warner Brothers Discovery and Fox to develop a joint sports streaming service that is scheduled to launch this fall. The sports streaming app is going to combine offerings from traditional broadcast television networks and ESPN Plus streaming. As together, the companies have the rights for some content from the NFL, the NBA, and the FIFA World Cup, among others. So that's interesting, too. I feel like sports streaming has always been a tricky market. And I think at one point there were some signs that Disney might be trying to spin off ESPN. But maybe this is a sign that they're going to double down and see if they can get this done and done the right way. Maybe more interesting to those that are listening to this show, Moana 2. Moana 2 is coming. So now this was supposed to be a show streaming on Disney Plus, but it's now going to be an animated film coming out this year, November 27th, actually. Yeah. So yeah, Stephers, you're pro Moana 2 in the theaters?
All right. Listen here. Listen here, y'all. We already know how I feel about Moana. I think I believe Moana is doing too much. You know what I'm saying? But I will say that I like that they decided to do a movie instead of a show. And this is why. With a show, you risk like milking it for all it's worth, where shows like go on for way too long. Like there are shows today that like just you need to end. Like please, like stop trying to spin some storyline. With this, there in theory should be like a clear plot, a clear direction. Like it'll be confined to 2, 3, however long they're gonna make this movie, and like it'll be more. I feel like it'll be more meaningful as a movie than the show that we were supposed to get. That might be a hot take, but I really don't want to see a show that like spans and spans and spans when really like you have one story to tell that could have been like, I'll sit there for 3 hours and watch a Moana movie. Like
3 hours.
I would. I mean, listen. I channeled my inner Marvel self and I just said 3 hours just because, you never know. But like I'd sit there and watch, a Moana movie. I just don't know if I have it in me to. I don't know how they could execute a show as well, in my opinion.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. I think I believed that the Moana series that was coming to Disney Plus was going to be like a limited series, not like just an ongoing thing. But it's just an interesting move because I think maybe it shows a little bit some of Disney's strategy here. Maybe they determined, they could have looked at the series because at this point, if it's coming out November 27th, it's largely done, I would say. Mm-hmm. So that means that they looked at the series and they thought to themselves, okay, we could do this, but it seems like maybe there's some filler time that we could cut out. Maybe we could just chop this down to 2 hours, put it in the theaters, draw people out, and then drop it on streaming later. Because here's the thing. I think we all know this. Movies that debut exclusively on streaming that just don't do as well as these big epic releases that they put out in the theaters. And I think that I know this was partly because of the pandemic, but you look at things like Soul and
Turning Red. Yep, that's a good example.
Oh, great movies.
Yeah, they're great. I think both of them are great, absolutely. But they both of them absolutely missed out on the popularity that they could have gained.
Oh, 100%.
Had they been in theaters, right?
Mm-hmm. Another thing that I've noticed with Disney too And maybe because we're in this like niche or this community of Disney lovers, so we keep up with this stuff. But the marketing they haven't, in my opinion, they haven't been investing as much in marketing their stuff as I feel like they could be or should be.
Yeah.
And I think the shock of a Moana 2 earned a lot of its hype versus like anything else.
Stephers, I really liked the rhythm of that phrase, the shock of a Moana 2. It felt very Polynesian to me.
Thank you. I tried. I really tried.
That was great.
Well, speaking on Disney and their marketing, going back to Soul and Turning Red, did y'all know that Soul was recently in theaters and Turning Red is currently in theaters right now?
Yeah. Well, exactly. So they're bringing them out because because they missed their time in theaters due to the pandemic. So I mean, kind of talking on what you were referring to, Stephers, once again, Disney is like, you need to put this stuff front and center. It's like, I want to experience these on the big screen, and I'm going to go see Moana 2 when it comes out in November of this year, and I'm more excited to go see a Moana film than I would be, oh, okay, cool, a Moana TV show is going to be dropping on Disney Plus, a streaming service that I'm already signed up for. Now, I will say, it's like, I am kind of bummed that Lin-Manuel Miranda is not returning to write the music for Moana 2, but at the same time, it's like, that's not going to stop me from going to see this. I can like Moana independently of me liking Lin-Manuel Miranda. Did he add to the original? 1000%. I think that's something that can't be denied. His music is what made Moana so good, but at the same time, that's not what made Moana. Yeah.
So it's like I've seen some people say it's like, oh, well, without Lin-Manuel Miranda, this just goes to show that, you know, this is Disney ham-fisting something and throwing it up on screen. Let's slow our roll on that one.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I also just had a brain blast. Sorry, that's the wrong company. But I just got an email from Disney Plus.
Bob Iger?
This past week. No, not quite. Disney Plus, but they're also starting to do the same thing Netflix did in terms of same household. Like you can't watch it from different households or whatever. So I feel like they made this move in light of that move, because I know a lot of people, once Netflix announced that, they canceled their Netflix subscription. Yep. So, and not to say that people are going to start canceling their Disney Plus, but I think they see the possibility of that. So they're giving them a different avenue, you know, to be more profitable, or, you know, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And aren't they also rolling out new paid tiers and introducing like ads to Disney Plus and stuff like that?
Yes.
Shut up. They're not. They're doing ads. I skimmed that email. Let me tell you how much I skimmed that.
Yeah, not great for the consumer.
It's not. We're just going back to what we had before.
Yeah, right.
We're going back to TV.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, cable's coming back, big guys.
Ugh. Yeah, it's a problem.
No. Speaking of that streaming service that Disney and Warner Brother is, and who else are they? That is, I think, low key. That is kind of a big deal that Disney and Warner Brother and Fox are teaming up for a sports streaming service. I think I just made the joke that, you know, cable's coming back big. That right there could pull a lot of people away from cable, because I'll be honest, the only thing that keeps me signed up for cable is to watch sports live. And if you're telling me I have the option to watch my football, my basketball, my professional wrestling on a streaming platform, that might be the thing that gets me to cut the cord. And the fact that Disney is doing it with Warner Brother and Fox, that is like, really?
Which brother do you think they picked? I'm thinking it's Yakko.
I'm thinking it was actually the Warner sister Duck.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I use Hulu plus Live TV because I need my sports. Like, that's the main reason. I don't really watch, other than Jeopardy. I do watch Jeopardy live.
You're so cute.
I'm old, Stephers.
I watch Jeopardy.
I do. I love Jeopardy. But aside from that, it's sports. That's why I need live TV. So yeah, it could be, and that's true for a lot of people that I talk to about this kind of thing. So, I wanted to ask just really quick before we move on to the next thing. Onward was a movie that came out in 2020 specifically on Disney Plus, because of the pandemic. I feel like Onward was never given a fair shake. And I really, really wonder if people had gone to the theaters to see that movie, if it would be looked at differently than it is, being a pandemic streaming service movie. I think it was just sort of like cast aside, and I think that was unfair. I like Onward personally, but maybe I'm in the minority there. I only recently saw Luca, and I really liked it.
Luca was great.
I saw Luca before Onward.
Yeah. Well,
Onward was fine, but Luca, again, is a streaming movie that I wish I had the opportunity to see on a big screen, because that is just a beautiful movie. Mm-hmm. And like the visuals in that movie are just something to behold. And I hate that I didn't get the chance to see that on a massive screen.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the hot take.
Okay.
Well, I think anything. Let me not do a hot take. Let me just make a statement. I think we lost a lot, obviously, from the pandemic, like in terms of the movies, because Onward coming out in 2020, like I was too busy worrying about the pandemic to really like not invest in movies, but like to pay attention to all of that. And I think once 2021 hit and all that stuff started rolling out, there was something alleviated where people were starting to pay attention more.
Yeah.
So I think what they should have done, or I guess they're kind of doing it now, is they recycle through and then they start putting stuff in theaters now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what Disney's doing. We mentioned it. Soul had its theatrical run. Currently, Turning Red's having its theatrical run, and I assume maybe eventually Luca will as well. So we will have that opportunity to go see it on the biggest screen possible.
Yeah, that's great.
I enjoyed Onward. It hit my heart in the field.
I really liked it. I don't know.
Onward was good, but I couldn't finish it due to personals, because it hit a little too close to home.
Yeah.
Mood.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's now transition to park news. And this is, again, it was part of the investors call, but this will sort of ease us into the theme parks now. So Bob Iger, referencing the $60 billion commitment they've made to invest in parks and experiences over the next decade, said about 70% of that is earmarked for incremental capacity expanding investments. Every Disney theme park and cruise line will receive a portion of the investment. Iger continued to build on the comments he made last November that he wants Disney to focus on turbocharging growth at the parks and experiences division. So, also, the division generated $9.1 billion in revenue during the first quarter of 2024 for them. Their quarter starts in October, it doesn't follow the calendar. But anyways, this is an interesting thing to talk about, because I feel like some people see that, and and I'm not going to call anybody out specifically, because this is just obviously when you see incremental like capacity expanding investment, it's hard to understand really what that might mean, because when you go to the parks now, you might say it's crowded and busy enough as it is. They don't need to be expanding capacity. What I actually think this means, just trying to read the tea leaves a little bit, it's not that they're trying to just find ways to cram more peoples in the parks. It's that they're trying to actually build more attractions and more space to spread out those crowds. Because right now, all the parks have a quote unquote fixed capacity based on the attractions that they have, the space that they have, the restaurants, shops, all that stuff. Now, just talking about how many people come to the parks every day, you can kind of get an idea. Are they filling up that space at this point? Now they've raised the park capacity limitations. We're totally out of the COVID lower park capacity times. And now if you go look at the park calendar for like a annual pass holder and you want to make a reservation, I would say 99% of the days you're going to be able to do that. And what that means is none of the parks are hitting capacity, and they're not going to. That's just not. So it's not that, it's not just we're going to find more ways to get more people in the parks and not add anything. They're talking about additional attractions, additional lands, additional space, and this is just the parks. For the cruise line, what that means is they're going to add ships. To not only, yes, they will be able to bring more people in, but it's also going to spread those people out. So my hope is that it has a dual benefit. Disney gets higher capacity or more turnstile revenue, and we as guests have more attractions and things to do in the parks. And that's what I take that to mean. Not that they're just going to refurbish, Big Thunder Mountain for the 10th time. We're actually going to get beyond Big Thunder Mountain, right? That's kind of how I read that. Do you think I'm way off, Landon?
No, I don't think you're way off. And I think that's a smarter way to look at it. They're going to be adding to the parks to give the higher capacity customers stuff to do, as opposed to just, all right, cool, we're going to add 2,000 more people into Magic Kingdom, and we're not going to give that extra 2,000 more people anything to do. I think that is a smarter way to look at it. And quite frankly, that's a smarter way for Disney to look at it, because you want to give people something new, something, the new hotness, as it were, to look forward to come down to your park, to get excited to come down to your park and experience. $60 billion over the next 10 years in the parks and experience division. That is very exciting. I'm looking very much forward to what Disney is going to be cranking out. I'm going to throw this at both you and Stephers. What is something y'all want to see them do with this $60 billion? Because I know we were just talking about Moana, and Stephers said that Moana is doing a whole lot in the parks. As big as an influence Moana has on the parks, and yeah, we have the walkthrough experience in Epcot, I'm low-key kind of stunned that we don't have like a Moana dark ride experience. Yeah,
I would agree. I almost feel like, now y'all can jump all over me if this is going to touch a nerve, but I'm just going to say, I think, especially with the Journey of Water being where it is in Epcot, I would kind of be interested to see Moana take over the seas and maybe do something different with Nemo. Because that Nemo ride, I think kids like it, and you go in the aquarium, but once you're in the aquarium, yeah, there's some Nemo theming and you've got Turtle Talk with Crush, but maybe make it, I can't come up with a good alliteration here, but maybe it's a conversation with Hey Hey. I don't know. Hey Hey doesn't talk.
Conversation with
Hey Hey with Hey Hey.
Yeah. Okay, wait. But touching on that, you actually could have like a historical, like cultural, educational thing in there.
Sure.
Like learn from the I mean, I knew where you were going with that, but you said hey and my mind went, what?
Maybe it's talking poop with Pua. I don't know.
Okay, so yes, I say that Moana has a lot going on, but what I am gonna say is the things that they did, I don't think that they've utilized her to her fullest potential. Like I not that the Journey of Water is not great. Frozen got a whole, I have to mind my words. Frozen got a whole ride. I feel like Moana could have had a ride.
No, I know.
But then the thing is what are you going to do? Make a reshade of the Ariel, the Little Mermaid ride, but make it Moana? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it has to be a little different. Like,
Moana has to have a boat
that's
ride.
What I'm afraid.
I want more boat rides, and I want a Moana boat ride.
The fact that we don't have a Moana boat ride feels borderline criminal.
It is. Yeah, let's call it criminal right now. Charges are being filed against Bob Iger.
In the world of theme parks, I'm not like, come on, y'all.
I'm just kidding. I just thought it was a funny thing to take and run with.
I know.
I'm yes-anding. Stephers, since you're the Universal expert, I want to know how much is the budget for construction of Epic Universe? Do you know? I'm gonna Google it. I just wanted you to guess. How much money is Universal spending on Epic Universe? Because I'm gonna guess. I have no idea, honestly.
$1 billion?
Wait,
how much was? How much did we just say they invested? $60 billion.
$60 billion over the next decade.
Yeah, like $1 to $5 billion, maybe.
Because that
for Epic.
If you're going where I think you're going, the thought did cross my mind: is Disney going to announce a fifth gate between now and that next decade?
I think that's the question that Disney fans want to know.
Am I close? Did you Google it?
I Googled it. It says that the Epic Universe project is expected to cost $315 million. To me, that seems low.
That does seem low.
As of September, and so this is different. As of September, allears.net estimates Epic Universe will cost somewhere between $3 and $4 billion. That's probably more correct.
So if Disney is putting in $60 billion over the next 10 years,
but that's across all parks, so not just Orlando. And experiences, including the ships. But I think they said something like Orlando was going to get $17 billion or something.
But at the same time, they still have their ongoing feud with noted Disney villain Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. So are they going to be a little gun shy to invest that much in the state of Florida? Maybe.
Can I be honest with y'all? See Disney, and I don't mean this as a dig or anything. I feel like they're just going to build another cruise ship.
Well, they are doing that.
I feel like they've invested a lot in their cruise lines, and I mean, Fifth Gate maybe, but I think we would get an expansion versus a Fifth Gate. I feel like we would get an beyond the Thunder Mountain Doodad Whatchamajinker.
I agree with
versus
you, Stephers.
An actual park.
I think
we've said that before.
Yeah, I think so, because I think they could move faster on that than getting a whole new park built. And I think that Disney does need to somehow respond, probably, over the next, we'll say over the next decade. They've got to have some sort of response to Epic. I know I was listening to the Dillos on Theme Park Thursday, and they were talking about Epic and whether or not it was going to really impact Disney. And
they told me not to listen to that episode.
I think Jen was saying she doesn't feel like it will. I think it has to, because I've been hearing people say, and these are just people that I talk to casually, not like extremely big Disney fans or anything, but they've said, I've never planned a specific Universal trip to go and stay at a Universal hotel and do the parks for multiple days. But after Epic opens, I'm going to do that. So, and that's not an isolated incident. I've heard a lot of people say that. So I think it probably will, and who knows what's the impact? 3% of attendance? I don't know. But if it hits Disney's pocketbook at all, they're not going to like that. So I think they got to have something in the chamber, right?
I mean, if Disney doesn't respond in any way, I think that is going to be a tone deaf response from Disney. They
are responding.
They have to do something. I mean, Universal has really upped their game over the last few years. And if Disney isn't paying attention, eventually Universal is going to overtake them.
Yeah. And then there's SeaWorld.
Oh, we did it! That's 6 weeks in a row, guys.
Yeah. Oh,
it's SeaWorld.
Where's the air horn?
Sound the horn. Sound the horn. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to announce we are now the official podcast of SeaWorld Orlando, after mentioning SeaWorld 6 times on 6 consecutive episodes.
We did it, guys.
SeaWorld's fun. Okay. So just looking at some things that are coming to the parks in the near term, that we know about. So Disney released a timeline of major openings at parks and experiences through 2026. Thank you to WDW Magic for compiling this list. Part of that is the reimagining of Test Track, which I totally forgot about.
Yeah, that is happening.
Yeah, that's happening. And Zootopia's replacement of It's Tough to Be a Bug, which is another thing I forgot about. But something that's coming up even sooner than that is the relaunching of the Little Mermaid show at Hollywood Studios. And that could be coming sooner than expected. I mean, right now the opening date is fall of 2024. But Disney, according to Blog Mickey, Disney has started casting for performers and puppeteers, which I'm so excited to hear that. I hope they're blacklight puppets again. That'll be great. For the new Little Mermaid show at Hollywood Studios. The previous show, The Voyage of the Little Mermaid, closed during COVID-19 and nothing's opened up there since. The brand new show, The Little Mermaid, A Musical Adventure, is coming and maybe coming sooner than we thought. But some other things that we've got coming up, the opening of Epcot Communicore Hall. I want everybody to track that I did say my expectation is that the whole reason Flower and Garden festival is ending early is there's going to be a big grand opening of Communicore Hall and like the new World Celebration in Epcot. Put it on the board right now, and I expect my flowers if that comes true. I expect
you can't get your flowers; they're ending flower and garden.
Oh, you're right. Damn. But I just want to keep that on the board that I did say that. New Star Tours characters and stories. I didn't know that was coming. 2024, and of course we get the reimagining of the Country Bear Jamboree sometime in the summer of 24. But let us not forget. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is coming to Walt Disney World and Disneyland in 2024.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So, good stuff. Exciting things to look forward to, but I'm looking for that big, huge splash. excuse the pun. Whoops.
You know what we're not getting, which is why I sighed?
Why? What?
The updated Spaceship Earth.
That's right. Not on the list.
Yeah, that's another thing I forgot they said they were going to do.
I just want it because Spaceship Earth is such a classic ride that I know that they could like just add to it. It's not even like getting rid of stuff. It's literally just adding the technology that we have. Whatever. I'm going to stop. I'll stop. I'm sorry. I'm very passionate about Spaceship Earth.
I am too. It's funny though that like you're so passionate about it, but you do want the updates because there are a lot of people who go the other way. Very passionate, but don't think it needs to be changed. So
I think that we live in a new world, and as Epcot is, updating with all the different worlds and stuff. Like I said, I don't think we should take XYZ things out. I think you still walk through the history, but like history has changed.
That's true.
Or has been, technology has updated itself. So like, I think it would be in their best interest to, add a VR headset or something.
I don't really want to put on a VR headset after like hundreds of sweaty tourists have been putting on the same VR headset.
No, I meant in a scene in the ride, not literally.
Okay.
Yeah, I took it the way that Jay did as well. It's like we're wearing VR headsets now.
Keep the same ride, everything the same, but like, forget it. I quit. I just quit.
Stephers has quit the podcast. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. Woohoo!
Wow, midway through the podcast too, we got her to quit. That's an accomplishment.
No, hey. We already have a VR headset on the Carousel of Progress, so
yes, channel that energy.
Channel it.
There's now a Vision Pro, man. There's a Vision Pro.
Oh, they should update that in there. They should put that on Carousel of Progress.
Yes, Carousel of Progress. That attraction where the technology definitely hasn't bypassed it or anything.
It's so funny.
But, I'm excited that they're finally doing something with that Little Mermaid space in Hollywood Studios, and the fact that show is coming back because that show was really cool.
Oh, I loved it. It definitely felt dated, but that was kind of what was cool about it. Like you had like some laser effects going on.
Yeah. For the sea.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I hope that they retain some of that. I know they're going to update it and there'll be cool new effects and stuff, but don't get rid of all the lasers. Not all of them, please. That's my request. So anyway, we'll see. But that's exciting. I'm glad it's coming back. And I think though we were kind of watching to see was that whole area going to be redone, revamped, something new. But now that show's coming back, maybe that means that the Star Wars launch bay isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, that is a big chunk of real estate over there in Hollywood Studios that kind of feels like it could be put to better use, for the lack of a better term.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Wars launching bay is what it is, and then I know they have the Disney Junior Vampirella dance parties or whatever happens over there.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I'm clearly not the target market for that area, and it has its purposes. But I mean, like, they wanted to do something in Hollywood Studios. I mean, they have the real estate.
Landon, you were asking for people to give you recommendations of bars and restaurants and things you haven't done for you and the Smoking Hot Girlfriend when you come back down the next week. I think you should do the Disney Junior Dance Party. I'm sure you've never done it. Why not? Go ahead.
But shake my butt with Fancy Nancy.
Yeah, absolutely. Just don't get kicked out of the park.
Well, dang it, Jay. You know when I get down and I throw cake, I am gonna get kicked out of the park. I got so much cake to throw, y'all.
I don't think you're ready for this jelly.
Oh, I hate myself.
Steffer stays on mute. No comment from Steffers.
Absolutely no comment from Stephers.
Wow, Steffers really might quit. Yeah.
So, all right. So that's going to wrap up the Disney news of the day. Guys, yesterday I got to go to Universal Mardi Gras for the first time this Mardi Gras season, and it was glorious. They are bringing it once again this year. It's bigger, it's better, it's wonderful. Got to the park.
See the All-American Rejects?
We saw the All-American Rejects.
Oh,
yeah.
Muting again.
Stayed for the concert. It was a great day and got to see a lot of friends. Really, really fun. Actually ran into Chris, Ear to Ear Travel. He was doing his live stream and we had just hit up the China booth. Casey specifically wanted to find food that wasn't spicy because everything we were getting was spicy. It was tearing up her stomach. We go to the China booth. We got one of everything, all three of the food items. All three of them were extremely spicy. So that did not bode well for her future stomach situation. But really, really good. I was going to give just a couple recommendations. First of all, yes, Landon, you are correct. There was a whole slider on top of the Bloody Mary this year.
Yeah, I saw that picture, and it's like in years past, I know Bloody Marys now come with like, you know, a whole appetizer stuck into them, but it's like, is that a slider?
Yeah, it's a hot chicken slider, and it was spicy. That's one thing I'll tell you. I was very surprised. I've said it in the past. I'll say it again. Typically, when a theme park tells you a food is spicy, it's not. It's mild or maybe on the border of medium. A lot of the items that we tried yesterday that were marked as spicy were like legit spicy. Had my lips tingling. I loved it. Casey was suffering. So yeah. But really, really good. We hit up several of the items that I wanted to try, and I just wanted to give a couple of my highlights from the food booths. So the first thing, of course, we went to the Bloody Mary. We got the wild Bloody Mary, and we got a new Blinky cup for this year, and it comes with the hot chicken slider. Delicious. The Bloody Mary did not disappoint. I had tweeted out on X and tagged Universal Orlando that I was coming out to Universal to, you know, try some food, grab some beads, see a concert, all that. And they responded to me because they're great. Their social media is great. But Universal Orlando recommended we go to the China booth and try the spicy smashed cucumber. And we did. We absolutely took them up on that recommendation. It was great. Actually, all three of the food items in the China booth were great. The Szechuan noodle salad, spicy cold noodle salad with cucumbers, peanuts, cilantro, and scallions for $5.99. Fabulous. Spicy smashed cucumbers, spicy marinated cucumbers with peanuts, cilantro, and scallions, $5.99. Great. And the pot stickers, which come with a chili oil dipping. They're pork pot stickers with a chili oil dipping sauce. That dipping sauce was no joke. Really spicy, but really good. I would recommend all three of those if any of those sound good to you at all. We hit up the Germany booth and tried the chicken schnitzel and currywurst. The chicken schnitzel was $8.99 and the currywurst was $7.99. Both fantastic. I knew I was going to love the chicken schnitzel. The currywurst may have been one of my favorite things I had yesterday. It was great. It's a crispy skin German bratwurst sliced and topped with a spicy curry tomato. And it was very, very good. I also tried, Casey got a couple servings of the Radler, which is the same grapefruit Schafferhofer that they have in Epcot. I tried the Celebrator, and it was very nice. If you like a dunkel. Sorry. If you like a dunkel, it was a very good dunkel. And then we also tried the beignets. Last year, I was disappointed with the beignets. I didn't love them. This year, the beignets at Mardi Gras lived up to the hype. They were actually really good. They were like puffier, crispier. This is somewhat early in the festival, so maybe they degrade as the festival goes on, but I was very proud of how they did with the beignets this year. Casey tried the espresso martini. She liked it, but she said that the stuff that they put on top of it is not great. So she didn't necessarily give like a full-throat recommendation. The Category 5 punch with the Cruisin' Dark Rum, Myers Dark Rum, lime juice, orange juice, simple syrup, passion fruit puree, and grenadine. Very, very good. There are things we definitely didn't get to that we wanted to. So we still have items on the list that we're going to have to revisit and try. But yeah, I mean, so far I didn't have anything I just didn't like, and the drinks were good. The vibes were immaculate, as they always are at Mardi Gras. We stayed for the parade. We actually watched the parade almost right in front of Revenge of the Mummy. It was a decent location. It wasn't too bad, but like once the parade passed us, it was like a madhouse trying to get to the stage to see the concert. And by the time we got there, there was no standing room available in the concert space. So we tried to find a spot, and we were going to like squeeze in, but it was like shoulder to shoulder. There was nowhere to squeeze into the crowd. So we ended up having to go back and stand almost in front of the Minions Cafe, a little bit over. And we met up with some friends over there, but we were sort of like way back. So my takeaway from that was if there's a concert that you really want to see as part of Universal Mardi Gras, you've got to make sure to stake out your spot even before the parade starts. And it's sort of going to have to be a one or the other kind of thing. I'm glad that we saw the parade. I always love the parade. It's so much fun. We caught a ton of beads. The floats are great, but we sacrificed getting like a decent viewing spot, which we probably would have had to stake out. There were people when we walked through like past the amphitheater at like, I want to say it was around 3 or 4 o'clock. The concert didn't start until 8:30. They were like, it was almost all full of people sitting down, staking out their spots for the concert at 8:30. So yeah. So just something to keep in mind. I don't know that, every concert is going to be that packed, and the All American Rejects were great. They played all the hits. It was so much fun. It was what we could see of it. It was fun, and we heard it, so it was good. But it was a good time. It was a successful 2024 first trip to Universal Mardi Gras. Always highly recommended if it's something that you've never done. And Landon, I'm excited for you and the Smoking Hot Girlfriend to do it this year. It's such a good time.
Yeah, we're super excited. We're going to be attending on Friday of this week, heading down to we're only doing studios. We are not doing park hopping, so we will not be going to islands, but we are definitely looking forward to eating some good food, drinking some good drinks, and then watching that parade at the end of the night, because that Mardi Gras parade is just top notch.
It's good.
It is a must do experience, in my opinion.
Yes, absolutely. We were told. Now, one thing I will tell you, we were told by some of the friends we ran into yesterday that the pina colada that you can get from the Puerto Rico booth is not good. So you can avoid.
Okay.
So you can avoid that. The Category 5 punch, like I said, it's good. If you're a rum drinker, it's good. It's a sweet drink. The Bloody Mary's always hit for me. Always a hit. There were a couple drinks we didn't get to try, but hopefully, like if you guys try something else, definitely take notes and bring back your recommendations and thoughts when you get back to town.
Definitely can do that.
Yeah. So very, very good stuff. We already did it once, but I'm just going to say SeaWorld one more time. And one thing they were celebrating, they officially completed the Penguin Trek roller coaster track. It's now complete. So that's very exciting. I'm excited for Penguin Trek. I think that's going to be a fun coaster.
Penguins.
Oh, yeah.
Penguins.
We love it. We love the penguins. Also, Cocktail Bob, who has annual passes to every theme park in Florida, he mentioned to me that he has gone over to the Seven Seas Food Fest a couple of times. He tried the lobster roll as part of the Seven Seas Food Fest, and he thought it was excellent, which, if you don't know Cocktail Bob, he's a native New Englander. That seems to me to be a rave. That's a rave review. So if you like a lobster roll, you might want to try that one out.
I like lobster rolls. I just, I'm a little far, so I don't think I'll be able to try it.
Yeah, we'll have to live vicariously through Cocktail Bob.
Well, you know, maybe I should give out his contact information to everyone who listens to the podcast because he loves to let me know that he's got guest passes. He's like, don't get a pass. If you want to come, just let me know and you can go with us and we'll get you in on the guest pass because he's got several. If you're a top tier SeaWorld pass holder, you get a lot of guest passes.
Wait, I have his phone number. Please hold.
There you go.
Yeah, let's go ahead and give it out on the podcast, Jay.
It is
555. Yeah, give Bob a call. Tell him to get you in there for that lobster roll. All right. So we've done it. That's the news. Went a little bit long today, but we had a lot. I mean, coming out of the earnings call from Disney, a lot of stuff to talk about. So why don't we take a little break right here? When we come back on the other side, we're going to continue our series shining a light on people of color who have contributed to the theme parks that we all love so much. And this week, we're going to chat a little bit about Charita Carter, who, by the way, is the lead Imagineer behind The Princess and the Frog, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Monorail. It is me, Papa Monorail, and I'm here with Stephers and Landon, the Doane. And today, we continue the Monday Morning Monorail Black History Month series by shining a light on people of color who have contributed in major ways to the theme parks. And today, our focus is on Charita Carter. So, Landon, Stephers, I sent you some articles that we could read. Charita Carter has the distinction of being the first African-American woman executive producer of Walt Disney Imagineering. And it's crazy. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be extremely shocked by this, but this only happened just in the last couple of years that she was promoted to this position. Crazy to think over the history of Disney parks, developing parks and attractions and all that they never did have a black man or woman to be a lead executive producer for Walt Disney Imagineering. Well, I guess this is specifically woman, so I would have to fact check myself because Lanny Smoot may have had that distinction as we talked about him last week. But with the reimagining of Splash Mountain into Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Charita Carter got the distinction of being nominated as the lead for the project, the first for an African American woman. So she is responsible for creating, collaborating, and developing Disney's parks and experiences from ideation to execution. Recently, Carter held the position of Senior Creative Producer and Development Manager of Walt Disney's Imagineering Scenic Illusion Team, a cohesive integration group committed to developing new applications and techniques to furnish designers efficiently with multiple storytelling capabilities. One of the things I found really inspiring and fascinating about Charita's story is that she started out as just a project accountant with Walt Disney. That's
what I just read, and I was shocked.
Yeah, with the Walt Disney Company. She was just an accountant, just like me. She's just like me. She just working, like doing the bean counting, balancing the ledgers. But what an amazing rise and what a change and redefining of her career. I read about how Disney did a really great job of sort of identifying her strengths and putting her in the room with people where her ideas were actually being listened to and valued, and to the point where she moved on and was promoted into Imagineering. So I have this article from blackgirlnerds.com, And one of the questions they asked was, how long have you worked for Disney Imagineering team? And she said, I've been with Imaginary for 22 years. When I think about it, it's gone by so fast. But I will mention I actually started out in accounting. So for the first 12 years of my career, I was in accounting, and then I became a financial analyst for the creative division. That opened up the door for me to work very closely with our creatives and our producers, and that eventually led to me managing a concept lab where we come up with techniques and tools for how we tell our story so that our designers have more tools and we develop a critical mass of those types of things. We call them scenic illusions. So that opened up the door for me to become a producer and start bringing those things in front of our guests. So that's crazy. I mean, how it's inspiring, but also if you kind of put yourself in her shoes, like how intimidating to go from just being, an accountant and just kind of being in the room and working with people from executing projects, but from a financial perspective, to actually being put in front of peers who have been doing it longer than you with different credentials, and being put on the spot to come up with these ideas and concepts but actually being listened to. But it gives me anxiety just thinking about man, what was day one like for her when she made that jump?
No kidding.
I mean, seems like a lot of pressure, especially, being that she's a black woman coming up in the company where at least before she did it, no one has risen to the level that she had. So really, really awesome. Really interesting. She was a big part of developing Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway as well. So she was involved in that project, which is pretty awesome too, because before Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway existed in Hollywood Studios, and now it's in Disneyland as well, there was never a ride that focused just on Mickey and Minnie. This was the first one in the theme parks that did that. So to be able to be put on that project, what an honor, but also, again, a lot of pressure.
Yeah, she referenced that pressure in that interview with Black Girl Nerds, and she even says no pressure and jokes about it.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about oh, no big deal. This is just the first attraction with the icon of the company.
Yeah, no.
No pressure.
And and by the way, in Hollywood Studios, it's going to be replacing a ride that people absolutely love and had this huge nostalgia for. So, I mean, what could go wrong, right?
I love Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So great job. 10 out of 10.
I do too. I'm a big fan.
It's a great attraction. Yeah.
I loved the Great Movie Ride a lot. But I said since from the first time riding Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway that they did a great job of bringing in a worthy, if they were going to replace it, it's a worthy replacement. I just wish, and I think most of us do, that they had found a way to keep the Great Movie Ride.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's nothing against Mickey and Minnie, the Runaway Railway. It's wonderful, but wow. They did a great job with the attraction, and some of those effects are things that we hadn't seen before in other attractions. I think Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway has one of the most fun pre-shows. Stepping into the theater, watching Mickey and Minnie go for their picnic, and then Goofy literally busting up the screen.
Yeah, it's so cool, so unique. And
then you get to step into the cartoon, just it's so well thought through. Using the theater the way they did, I think, was inspired. Really creative and wonderful. So, it makes me very, very proud, of what she did. So now I'm referencing an Essence.com article. So this is talking about the transformation of Splash Mountain. Imagineers will be working on transforming the classic Splash Mountain into a Princess and the Frog attraction at Disneyland and Magic Kingdom. As the first attraction centered around Disney's first black princess, Carter is grateful for the honor to be leading its creation. I'm extremely honored to have this responsibility. It's hard work, and yes, I'm nervous because I feel every day the weight of what it is that we're doing. But we've put together an amazing team of people. We're working with so many consultants and just really encouraging everybody who's touching this attraction to be curious and be humble and be open to learning, expanding on what ways we can tell this story. She adds, we're building upon what was done with the animated film. We're telling the next chapter of the story. We have this beautiful opportunity to give the character of Tiana depth and a dimensional space. I'm honored and excited, and I just feel like, yes, I'm ready. Let's do this. So that's the attitude. I think that's the attitude she has to have with the way her career has gone. Grab the bull by the horns and go. But man, it makes me so excited because I think, you know, we during the last several years, Disney has really done a great job of putting more emphasis on one of their keys, which is the diversity and inclusion key to their core values. And one thing that I feel somewhat like anxious and nervous about is you do have this faction of people, and we'll talk vaguely about this, that are against they're going to come out and speak out against Tiana's Bayou Adventure for the wrong reasons. And they spoke out about the refurbishment of Splash or the replacement of Splash for the wrong reasons. And so, like, knowing, and it's no secret, like all that's out there, and Disney's aware of the backlash, and like that's just additional added pressure on Charita's shoulders that she's dealing with. But it really does, to me, feel like she's got the right mentality and attitude, and I feel so excited to see what her first attraction as the lead Imagineer is going to look like. I have a lot of very positive hope that this is going to be such a fun, really amazing ride. And I think people 20, 30 years from now are going to look at it and be like, yeah, this was absolutely the right thing to do, regardless of what the day one reaction is. So,
yeah, echo everything you said. And I love the fact that she's not shying away from the pressure. She showed it when she was a part of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, bringing on the pressure, the onus of replacing not only a beloved attraction in the Great Movie Ride, but also, this is the first attraction with Mickey, but also in the instance of Tiana replacing Splash Mountain and all the extracurricular that comes with replacing Splash Mountain. She does know that there's pressure, and I love the fact that she doesn't shy away from it. She's like, yeah, bring it on. I'm going to knock this out of the park. And I do think that, like you said, 20, 30 years down the road, when all the extracurricular has been forgotten, people are just going to be like, yeah, it's a great attraction.
Yeah, all time great. It's we will just be considering it like part of the mountain range of Magic Kingdom. And sure, people will remember Splash from nostalgia standpoint fondly, but I think about the kids that are going to go and experience Tiana's Bayou Adventure for the first time that have never been to Magic Kingdom before, and that's going to be one of the first rides they get to experience. And especially if they are members of minority communities, or specifically the Black community, and they ride this ride and get to see a princess that looks like them being featured on a headline attraction in the Magic Kingdom, that's going to make a real impact. And I feel it fills my heart. So very excited to see what happens there, but nothing but the highest regard for Charita Carter. And can't wait to see what she does next. I mean, that's not fair of me to say that she's already done great things. She's already done great things, but yeah, I mean, it seems like she's only getting started, I guess is what I mean. So very cool. Very cool. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up the show for today. Stephers, welcome back.
Hi.
So glad to have you back with us on the monorail, and welcome back to Adventures. I really wanted to say Adventures.
Just say it. It's okay. You can say it.
Welcome back to Avengers/Adventures with Stephers. Thank you for having me as guest number 1. It was very, very fun. And I don't know, do you have episode 2 in the can?
Episode 2 was recorded. I just have to edit it, and it'll be released probably next week.
Fantastic. I know Angela Dahlgren is your guest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
She is.
Very good. Angela Dahlgren, the one that famously, whether it was a good idea or not, got in a vehicle with 3 guys she'd never met before to go to the opening day of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. But she did threaten us with her jujitsu, just to keep us.
The first words out of her mouth. I know jujitsu. I'm Landon. Nice to meet you.
That was a good time. I'm looking forward to that episode, Stephers. Tell people where they can find you and find Adventures with Stephers.
I'm on Instagram and TikTok at Adventures with Stephers, and then I'm on the Twitter, but not really. But it's Stephers, ITSSTPHERS, because it's Stephers. And Adventures with Stephers is on all your podcatchers, so go listen and enjoy.
Do it.
Smiley face.
You got to do it. Very, very exciting. Landon, how about you, sir?
You can follow me on Twitter, LANDOZ. Please go follow me, Landon Doane. I'm the best, Landon Doane, not the rest. That's you can follow me 280 characters at a time. I also normally appear on the Phil Show, News Talk 98.7 WOKI radio station locally here in Knoxville, Tennessee, streaming 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at newstalk987.com. Also available in the iHeartRadio app and the News Talk 987 app as well. I say normally, but for the next 2 weeks, I'm not going to be there. So, it's kind of like when Poochie's not on screen. Everybody just stands around asking, "Hey, where's Poochie?" But I'm going to be down in Orlando, Florida, so that's going to be pretty dope. If you see me in the park, say hey, wave at me, and buy me a drink. That would be even more dope. And also, I'm not going to be here for the next couple of weeks either. So there's that.
We're going to miss you. We're going to miss you, Landon.
No, you're going to have such a great time. Oh. Never mind. I'll see myself out. Gotta go.
No. I will miss y'all too. But yeah, I'm looking forward to being on vacation because the whole snow and living at work for a week and that. Your boy is ready to unplug for a while.
Understood. Makes sense. So Landon and Stephers, I just sent to the group chat a picture that Casey took of me with my Big Fire 75 proudly displayed.
You're so cute.
So I've got
that's Insta worthy.
Yeah, it will. I'm going to put it out there, but I wanted to tease it here. You guys get to see it first. So as referenced earlier in the show, me with my signature pink drink. If you want to see that, you better go over and follow Morning Monorail on Instagram. That's MORNING, morning, MONOA, no.
Welcome to the Unhinged podcast.
I'm not spelling
an F-bomb and I didn't drop it. Look at that.
Morning Monorail on all the things. In fact, there's a website, morningmonorail.com. We also have a Facebook group. It's the Monday Morning Monorail fam. Join the Facebook group. And there's a Discord if you really want to jump in and join the conversation every week. Thank you all so much for listening. I apologize for my foul mouth, but I just got back from Mardi Gras. That's what happens.
Don't be blaming Mardi Gras for that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's been a good time, and we're going to have more good times. I hope to see you all back here next week, even though Landon won't be here. We will
hold down the fort.
We'll try our best to hold down the fort. Yeah, so come back, bring a friend. We love you all so much. Thank a team member, thank a cast member. Be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
See you.
Welcome aboard the Monday. I'm going to do it again because I feel like I had a junk in my throat. It was like, wow.
I just say we keep it.
Okay. Phlegm. Okay.